Your one's better than mine.
No, I just know how to tame it.
Nah, yours is better than
practiced.
mine. Yours is better than mine.
As long as you're saying it.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Double Crown Talk Time. My name's Richard.
And I'm Matt.
Today we're going to be talking about some cool stuff in the gaming industry. This is Matt's topic. Pre-orders. Go.
I think they're fine.
If you liked our video, go ahead and subscribe, give us a thumbs up, and leave a comment letting us know what you think of pre-orders as well. Back to you.
Continuing on to that point. I think pre-orders are fine as long as you get something out of it that is worth value to you. Mm-hmm. For me, that value is not based on things you get in the game. Okay. I don't give a shit about like pre-order cosmetics or anything like that.
But that beanie, you need to get that orange beanie in the division.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's. I keep thinking of that. I hope it's a real thing, but I don't think it is.
It could be. Who knows?
It'd be cool, like that hunting orange. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like for me, like what used to be known as collector's editions that come with stuff, they're probably still known as collector's editions.
Well, they have cool names now, like the Abyss Edition.
Yeah.
And yeah, shit like that.
I'm a big fan of those. Like this stuff here came from that sort of thing.
Steel cases.
Steel case editions. That's my jam.
That's your shit. Yeah. Go ahead. Sorry, I won't interrupt.
Good.
Okay. I'm
just kidding. Jump in whenever. But probably my favorite one is the Killzone 3 one that comes with most of what you see here on the table. The Hellgast helmet, the action figure sniper with the cloak halfway engaged. Cool as hell. Yeah. The helmet doubles as the game case.
Yeah, the helmet like lifts up and there's like an art book and the game case in there. It's
cool stuff. It's pretty
dope.
That.
Yeah, that stuff's really cool. I agree with all that. In-game cosmetics, I'm not gonna say I'm a total sucker for, but you know, I play Dota, and sometimes those things are cool. You know what I mean? But it's all it's just something to like, you know, kind of flex on the internet, really. So like, you know, a single player game with like cosmetics, I'm not gonna care about. It's all, you know, about that online. You know, there was like the Destiny thing where if you played in the beta, you had that little banner thing. I didn't play the game long enough for it to matter.
The specific emblem.
Yeah, the emblem. That's what it's called.
Showed you were OG.
Yep.
But like, that didn't mean anything really. Yeah. Because like, you had it and you kept it because you were there, but no one ever used it because it's just like, okay, like there are better looking ones. That
and I think that, you know, to that specific example, you get things like, you know, did you get one when you beat the raid or anything? Yeah. So, you know, you want to throw that up because that's better bragging right than
just being there at the beginning.
Exactly. So, you know, it really depends.
When it was better than after 6 patches has ruined my playstyle.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, and that's, I think that kind of, it depends on how long the game runs too. So, you know, like for World of Warcraft, if I had something from the very beginning of the game, 10 years later, it's rare to see a player with, I can't think of anything, but you know what I mean? Like something like that was hard to find then, you can't get it anymore. That's cool. In those situations, it's cool. But in a game within its first, you know, 2-3 years, if they're going to make a sequel of Destiny 2, does that stuff carry over? It should, or else it's completely useless. You know what I mean?
True.
That'd be cool, you know, if and when we're playing Destiny 9, that when
we're 55.
Yeah, when we're 55 years old, we're playing Destiny 9, that, you know, you have that beta emblem. That'd be cool. And that situation, it's neat. And that's where I kind of, you know, that gets the hook. I get that hook a little bit.
That's true.
Because similar to Dota, you know, there are certain sets that come out that normal price now, or you have to, you know, work to get them to unlock certain things and earn these items that, you know, then go on to sell, you know, for $200-300 on the marketplace. So when you have that, when you've got that Dragon Claw for Pudge, people know you were an OG, or you are fucking stupid and spent $200 on a cosmetic item.
So the cosmetics are like limited time. Like, do they vary by seasons or years?
It depends on how. Depends on the, you know, what's happening.
The Steam marketplace is a mystery to me.
Yeah,
I know people sell CS:GO items all the time.
Yeah, you pretty much just sell them. I don't know. It's in a weird place right now, but that's a little off topic.
It's a gray area. Not quite black market, but it is gray.
Gray market. But some people don't like pre-orders, and this is why you've brought it up. We have some friends that
Adamantly oppose pre-ordering anything for any reason.
Except for Street Fighter 5.
You know who you are.
Yeah. I won't say your name. Don't worry. But yeah, I did a little bit of research just to try and keep my thoughts similar to my talk time video. I made some notes because I wanted to have a nice little plan for me so I don't go off on a tangent about Dota items for fucking ever.
You're the organized one of the two of us.
Well, you know, you're just better at thinking off the top of your head, I think. Anyways, so I'm just going to kind of go through. And we discussed this, but you can... I want your thoughts on these as well. So, there were like about two or three things that I saw repeatedly online that people had... These were their big problems with pre-orders. And I get the problem, except for one. The one that I saw was this kind of pay to test mentality of similar to The Division. I pre-ordered that game because I was very interested in it regardless, everything I had seen that I had liked, and I didn't know there was going to be an open beta, which is going to be happening very soon. Actually, when this game comes out, it'll be, or when this video comes out, you can play the open beta right now on PC, Xbox One, and PS4. So, so I pre-ordered the game to get that closed beta access. I wanted you to be able to try it out. There was like a lottery system where you can try to get in.
I didn't.
You did not.
Spoiler.
Bummer. But so I pre-ordered it, and there's this mentality out there that people, that these game companies, developers and publishers are using that instead of actually doing QA testing for their game. That they're now making us pay to test their game, and that's why, you know, like they're cutting all these corners, which, you know, beta tests have been a thing for a very long time. You know, I think it was probably always a low paying job for the most part.
Probably super unrewarding as well.
Yeah, but you know, the idea that a company like For the Division or Call of Duty or something would use pre-order beta testing instead of actual quality assurance is fucking absurd. That's plain and simple. Like,
yeah, because that makes me think back to like whenever beta tests were strictly for like server load tests, or like even in games like Battlefield 3.
Yeah, we played that beta. Yeah,
it was to test server load, but also like there's a lot of balancing issues that they have to work out whenever there are more than like 10 people at the office playing.
Yeah,
so. Like, whenever there's a game like The Division that's entirely online...
Sure.
Like,
and it thrives on a community, yeah,
all of those
there.
Balancing issues are still there. So, like...
Exactly.
It's I wouldn't say that it's strictly paying to quality test a game.
No.
But
there are certain things that you can't test outside of, like, a really broad, you know, area. Now, I will say... specifically with kind of like, I think the Destiny beta was the one where I like really was kind of irked by it because, you know, I did a lot of PC beta tests, and you can very clearly tell those games are in beta, that you are there to find bugs and report the bugs. And like, that's, you know, you can kind of check out the game, of course, you know, but you're limited to what you can access, all that kind of stuff. That has always been true. When I played the Destiny beta, it was a demo. Straight up, like, I don't remember, you know, there were bugs, of course, you know what I mean, and it's similar to an online thing, server load, stuff like that, but that's kind of, I think these betas have kind of replaced demos in a way.
How it's sort of used as a marketing tool rather than
exactly
what it's an original intended purpose.
And I think that you can kind of take a look at the developer and see how they react to that beta test, and that will, you know, that kind of tells you what it was for. I don't remember now, and I could be wrong. I don't remember there being a lot, if much of anything, changed between the Destiny beta and the actual.
They took
final
out
release.
that Wizards from the Moon line.
They did. Okay, you're right.
That's the only like major noticeable thing.
Yeah.
But like going back to the Division, what's that? Mass. Who's making the Division?
Massive. Ubisoft Massive, I think.
Yeah. They've already announced changes just between the alpha and the.
There were changes between alpha and the closed beta, and now closed beta to open beta. Now I do think this open beta is more of a they're adding a little bit more content too, so it's like here's a little bit extra taste, like everyone jump in. You know, again, I'm sure that we'll see more, you know, check for server problems, but it's also, you know, as you know, I think most developers know that work on anything, once you fix things, you probably break a bunch of other things at the same time.
Yeah.
So it's like it's a constant sort of thing that you have to go through, especially with an all online game with lots of people running around in the same areas doing things that you would never think to test. You know what I mean?
True.
So that's just one thing that I kind of wanted to put out there. Like, I have tested games like as a job, basically. It's like as a contractor, and that's not true. So I could say that 100%. Your beta test is not the only beta test that's happening. The consumer beta test is not the only thing that's happening. There's so much that happens behind closed doors that people that I saw that, and that really bugged me.
I mean, just look at like some early access games where like that you literally are testing for bugs and reporting them. Well,
that, and I think early access is like a whole nother conversation, but I think something like that is the developer wants the players' feedback to help mold the game forward. It's like, I have this concept and I can make this, but I want to know, like, it's usually best, I think, in like multiplayer games, where it's like, I want to know what people want and then implement that in my own way.
Sure.
So like we have a Let's Play going up next week called Who's Your Daddy? Mm-hmm. And in that, there were a whole bunch of things added from when we initially tried to play it and saw videos of it, which I'm sure, and he does balancing between like the kid and that, like he does, from what I've seen, really keeps up with that game. So good for him. But I don't know. So in that sense, that really bothered me that people might think that we are the only QA testing for these huge AAA games. The games would be much more
broken if that was the case. Like, unplayable comes to mind.
Exactly. So I don't know, that was ridiculous. I know something to your point is, you don't mind pre-ordering a game if, knowing that there are bad things. I talked to you about just this morning the thing that Square Enix did with Deus Ex, and like, you talk and how that is just like bad behavior, not tolerated. Like, fuck that, and it was shut down. IDOS was like, nope, like stop that, because they were just getting lots of bad press because it was bullshit. Yeah, it was bullshit. If you don't know what I'm talking about, basically, Square Enix put out a pre-order like tier system. I think there were like 4 or 5 tiers where they controlled. They revealed when we hit 20% of whatever their goal was, and they didn't tell us what the goal was or how many pre-orders were done. But basically, you unlocked things like, we're going to add another mission to the game if we get 50% of our goal in pre-orders, and we're going to release the game 4 days early if we get 100%. And like this like shitty like progress system that, there was no way for us to know if it was fixed or what. And then the game ended up being delayed a huge amount of time anyway. So it did like 4 days, maybe 4 days and 6 months late.
Maybe if they were coding in the hyperbolic time chamber.
That's a good point. But yeah, so I mean, that kind of stuff is like clearly not tolerated, like by the gaming community. But the idea, that pre-ordering is bad because it's kind of like a guaranteed sale for the publisher before anyone has a chance to review it, before we have a chance to kind of like, get a better idea of what the game is and if it's going to be just completely bad. I don't know. Did you follow like The Devil's Third? It was this Wii U exclusive game that just, like, some people I think were kind of hyped about. It took forever, and it was in development hell for a while, I think, and it is garbage. Lots of people are pre-ordering it because they sold all their copies, and it's like actually a hard game to find, as far as I understand. Like, they're doing a second pressing or whatever, because like it was just like, just get the fucking game out, and it was it was pretty poorly reviewed as far as I remember.
People just have a bad time managing their own hype.
Yeah,
because like typically whenever I make a decision on like pre-ordering a game, I only look at stuff that's coming from the developer, because I feel like I can see through bullshit pretty easy now.
Yeah.
So like, I know if somebody is talking out of their ass.
Sure.
And like, if I'm okay with that, I'm like, all right, yeah, well, I still see good in this. I still see a merit of doing this. But if someone's just like, there's going to be so many things, and it's like, you're promising way too much.
Well, yeah, it makes me think of like we keep bringing up Destiny, but there's that clip online of like them talking about like the fully open like living like environment that you can use in Destiny. You just fall off the edge and die. Like when they try to go out to that living world and shit. it's things like that where, you know, and there's a whole Jason Schreier did a really long story on Kotaku about really about kind of like the fall of Destiny's like whole story and everything, you know, because of Activision and like just a bunch of corporate nonsense.
Definitely.
People saying no. But it makes me wonder, you know, that's also a problem with, you know, the pre-ordering way too early as well. I usually don't pre-order a game more than a month out.
Yeah,
you know,
because generally then you've seen everything that they're going to show you.
Yeah, but you know, if I like had pre-ordered Destiny like at E3 when they said all that and showed everything, and I was like, this looks rad, yeah, like then you've, you know, basically in their mind pretty much confirmed that sale when it comes out 3 years, 2 years down the road, whenever it was, and everything that they said there eventually did not come true. So you whether or not you ended up liking the game is, you know, one thing or another, but it's kind of that getting that guaranteed sale idea, or at least someone that's going to talk about the game, someone that you're building that hype up for something that isn't going to happen further down the line. Now, is that Bungie's fault or Activision's fault explicitly? I mean, sure, somewhere is at fault somewhere, but I don't know if I can necessarily say like shame on them for things changing over 3 years. Yeah. And I can't say shame on someone for pre-ordering a game too early. I mean, I guess
shame on them for not following along and seeing where the story developed.
Sure.
Because
if they got upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I bought Destiny a month later with my PS4 and played it for 800 hours.
Yeah.
So I feel like I got my money's worth.
I pre-ordered and bought the season pass and played for about 10 hours and never played it again.
You came back once. I forget at what point, but you came back, went to the tower, and I took a screenshot, and then you said, fuck this.
Did I?
Yeah. I think it was House of Wolves, whenever that came out.
I didn't load anything up. I never installed any DLC. So, yeah, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure you just showed up in the tower.
Okay.
Sat down and then disconnected.
Okay, that's probably what I did. That sounds about right. But yeah, so, you know, more to like kind of how you feel. I'm feeling the same way in the sense that pre-order, in my mind, pre-order late and pre-order from developers and publishers that you know aren't going to fuck you.
Yeah.
It's to me, it's easy as that, because like there are things that I get, like, you know, I pre-order everything at Best Buy. I have Gamers Club unlocked. I get to save I get free money basically for pre-ordering and buying within the, you know, the first week of launch.
Really good deal.
Yeah, I get $10 for every game that I buy basically. So that's cool. I like, you know, I'm pretty selfish. Like, sure, I know that like it kind of perpetuates some bad behaviors, but I don't necessarily think that, you know, I'm never going to look at a bad behavior and pre-order a game regardless of it. You know, if there's something that I truly disagree with, like what happened with Deus Ex, I'm not going to buy Deus Ex. I don't care how good it is. There's other shit that I could be doing, other games that I could be playing, you know.
It's true.
Like, I think it comes down to being, you know, having a little bit more balls to not buy the game than not pre-order it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But again, that's all based off behavior. That sucks that you know, that happened to IDOS, and they probably had no, you know, they probably didn't do anything with that pre-order situation. I think it was all Square Enix, but oh well, you know.
That kind of goes back, like, if you trust a developer and then you pre-order a game of theirs and turns out you don't really like it as much as you thought you would, like, for me,
make a YouTube video.
Yeah.
Review the game.
Killzone 3, mechanically it was solid, but it was a lackluster story compared to the masterpiece that was Killzone 2. So now I'm not going to pre-order another game from Guerrilla.
Yeah. What about Horizon? I almost said Verizon. Verizon, the game.
I'm going to wait just because, like, Shadowfall was all right. It was still lackluster on the story department. It was still like the classic, like, Killzone, really solid, but also a little bit floaty gun controls.
Sure.
But there just wasn't the emotional impact that came from Killzone 2 for me. So no matter what if Horizon came with like a 1/16 size like mecha T-Rex for the collector's edition, I'd probably still be like, nah.
Yeah.
Even though that's cool as fuck and I want that.
I see what you're saying. This goes more towards where I get a little selfish and just, I guess, greedy. Unless something crazy happens before this fall when the game comes out, I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy that game. It may be trash. We'll see. But I'm gonna buy it. So I may wait 2 weeks before it comes out, but I'm probably gonna pre-order it. I pre-ordered. What was the last game that I bought? It was.
Was it Fallout?
No, it was something. What was it? Oh, it was no.
Like physical copy, it wasn't Fallout?
It was Fallout.
Because we bought a lot of stuff online since then.
I know.
A lot of PSN games.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I haven't really. That is the last. Well, other than Dying Light, which that was Black Friday.
That's true.
But I'm trying to think of the last game I pre-ordered and bought. I think it was. I don't know. I can't say for sure. The last game I pre-ordered was The Division, and that was so that I could get into that beta. You got me there, Ruby. But yeah, I can't remember what game it was, but recently I pre-ordered a game like days before it came out. I want to say it was the Nathan Drake collection. I think it was.
That would make sense.
I think it was a Nathan Drake collection. Ended up not buying it. I pre-ordered it and didn't buy it because my PlayStation started making some god awful sounds, so I had it exchanged and got that game for free. Yeah, but I don't know. It's weird. Pre-orders are weird.
I guess in short, buy them if you want to and you get value out of them, but be careful as a consumer. Yeah.
Don't fuck yourself. Be cautiously optimistic at best, I think. I think that's the best road that you can take. There's more that we can go into about pre-orders, but
well, on the other hand,
I don't know. I mean, do you think that there's anything bad about it? I guess that's that. Like I know that like we both happily pre-order in a sense, but do you agree with any of the things that people have problems with? That it's bad for the industry that we do it. That it perpetuates this behavior of similar that I said. I don't think that we're the testers, but things like what Square Enix did, or the accusations of developers cutting content to turn into DLC, things like that.
I see the point of treating it as a guaranteed sale, but pre-order does not mean you have to buy it at most places. Yeah, like most places you put down $5 or $10. I
think one thing that we do need to point out that I actually, real quick, just as an aside, you pre-order on Steam, you pay the full price. That is something very important. That we as people that don't buy games on Steam very often, that's a thing. If you want to pre-order Street Fighter V on Steam, you pay $60.
Does Steam have that refund for any reason thing?
Yes,
where 14
they
days?
do. So you could do that, but I think that might be part of the reason. But I did want to make sure that we pointed that out because as primarily console gamers, we only are putting down $5, $10, depending on what we want.
True.
So
I mean, I don't know how companies look at their metrics, but I would say that if they are expecting a certain number of pre-orders, like they expect that amount of money. So when they receive less than that, that would look bad, unless it's on the retailer, which it probably is.
On the retailer to get the amount of pre-orders?
Because those games are probably already paid for by like Best Buy or Walmart or Target or whatever.
Like the amount of copies that they're going to get? Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to pretend to even know anything about that side of the business, but...
well, I guess then the only reason... If you don't pick up pre-orders, you're just hurting those retailers, I guess? Well, no, they're just making money because they will just put those copies out on the shelves.
Yeah, they're going to sell them regardless if you pick them up or not. But I know we have a friend who, you know, he was talking about pre-orders recently, and a big thing that he brought up that I didn't necessarily think about so much. I knew like it's a perceived guaranteed sale for the most part. Like, it's safer to bet that they're going to buy that game regardless of how much money they put down than not buy it. But another big thing is, like you were saying earlier, manage your hype, is that these people are going to get excited. You know, I played the Division beta. I had people come over to our house to play it. Like, I was like a mouthpiece for Ubisoft, be like, hey, I'm having fun with this. Now, I'm not going to like tell people to go pre-order it. I'm not going to tell people they have to buy it. That's why I brought people over to check it out, because, you know, something I like isn't going to be for everyone. But I talked to people about it, got other people thinking about it. Maybe they went and talked to their friends about it so that they pre-ordered it. Therefore, they could get into the beta. And then, you know, just because I pre-ordered that one game, maybe they got 5 more. So down the line, you know what I mean? Maybe through a Facebook post, a friend sees it, messages them, and then they pre-order it so they can check out the last day of the beta. They extended it 2 days, you know. So all these different things, I think, kind of that easy marketing sort of situation comes into play. Sure. Because if you're putting money down on something, you're probably pretty passionate about it.
I think putting the blame on the companies that do that, though, is wrong, because the individuals that, like, if the only exposure to a game you have is word of mouth from someone else, like, I don't think that you're doing your due diligence into researching a game, whether you actually want it. I think you need to, as a consumer, look into things more deeply than just like, oh, my friend said this game is good. He plays good games, so I'll probably like it. Like, yes, that may be the case, but there's a pretty big difference between certain games within the same genre. Sure. Like, the difference between Uncharted and The Last of Us is pretty big.
Sure.
Like, someone may love one and hate the other. Just because one individual loves both doesn't mean everyone will love both.
Yeah, I agree with that.
As a consumer, you need to do your research, basically.
Do your homework.
Don't take your kids to Deadpool.
And with that, I think we'll end this talk time. Do you have anything else to add at the end?
Yeah.
Pre-order your games, but only if you're sure. Otherwise,
from developers you trust.
Yeah.
Like From Software. Get that Steam case.
And Naughty Dog. That's it. Don't pre-order from anyone else. Unless you want to get to the beta and QA test the game for Ubisoft, because the only people that they can get testing from is people like me. Yeah.
That was a good summary of the entire episode.
Yeah. So what do you give pre-orders out of 10? This is a review of pre-orders. No, I'm just kidding. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like the video, remember to subscribe. We've got Talk Time coming at you every single week on Friday at 9 a.m. That's pretty much it. We've got a lot of other videos as well, so check out those.
Do you have any praise, criticisms, or critiques? Leave them in the comments below.
We appreciate it. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.